No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Today I'm here with Enzo Amore.
Well, formerly known as.
Just
Enzo these days.
And now, just Enzo.
At
okay.
Real One, you can follow me doing.
Which I do. I follow a Real One. And
My
you have
dog.
Fascinating lifestyle going on over here. You got big drink in your cup. It's technically a rock star
big
energy.
Drink. I'm a rock star, right?
You're an energy drink kind of guy. You just go in the gas station and just buy them out.
Hit me a fire up, dude. If I'm filling up the tank in the car, I'm filling up the tank in the body.
Really?
Gotta get it, man.
But you never got into coffee or anything?
Oh, dude, I'm an espresso machine. Like at work, when I used to work in wrestling, dude, there's an espresso machine and there's just a line of wrestlers there.
Really?
Yeah, everybody's wilding. Everybody's flying high on caffeine, dude. You got a lot of lines you got to remember. It's a live TV show. There's no fucking rewind button. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's unlike any other. It's the last traveling circus. We do this every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Right.
And bless the guys that are still doing it. I'm happy to be.
But so
Yeah.
is there strong drug testing these days, and that's why everybody's on the caffeine? Like you can't just pop Adderall and do
Is
coke
there
and shit?
ever, dude? You can't do nothing.
You
man.
can now. It's
Get
really
drug
strict.
tested 12 times a year in the WWE. So shout out to everybody who thought I was on drugs.
Really? When did they start? Like drug testing is super crazy because for all the glory days of the WWE, it felt like that was one of the last places where you could just do a ton of steroids and it was all good.
Dude, right, bro? Honestly, like they had that big falling out with the steroid scandal, and John Oliver just did a piece on HBO where they touch on a lot of this shit, dude.
Right.
It's real crazy. But like their drug testing policy is stricter than the Olympics. So they just pop up on you at your house or at the shows or at Monday Night Raw randomly. You never know when they're coming, so it's just not worth it.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about where you're from, where you're coming from originally.
Jersey, man, Jersey. I was discovered as a rapper in 2011 in a YouTube video that I made.
Really? So you're a rapper first? Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I was rapping in 2011. I made a YouTube video that went kind of viral that Barstool Sports posted. And then I had a friend that knew Triple H that showed him the video. Right. I got a tryout in the WWE and I got the microphone handed to me in front of Dusty Rhodes. Wow. And the rest was kind of history, dude, because I never wrestled before in my life, bro. Right. I don't know that, like, I don't know the ins and outs, the locker room etiquette, the way that, it's just, there's a whole language that I don't understand at that time. Right. So it would be like taking you, dog, and be like, hey, you're in the WWE. Right. Figure it out.
But wait, so why were you a wrestler all of a sudden just because you were good at rapping?
When I was a kid, I was a wrestling fan, and I made this video with my little brother. Shout out my little brother, Brett, B.A. Cinema. He shoots, as you know, like shoots a lot of music videos for a lot of cats out here in Hollywood and out in Rolling Loud. They just came back from. So my little brother makes music videos for other people and stuff like that. So he got started by shooting me talking this shit on the Hudson River about the Jersey Shore. Wow. That got me my tryout. And it's just crazy to see where we both took it, Yeah.
Wait, but that was what your original rap was about, was dissing the Jersey Shore?
Yeah. Oh shit. I like put this video out where I was talking about trying to be a pro wrestler because I kind of had this to get into the WWE because I knew a guy that trained Triple H. Okay. And so I made this YouTube video and I put it together at this gym and we compiled it, sent it over to Triple H. I got a tryout not knowing anything about wrestling and then got hired in the WWE, and the first time that I ever had a match just so happened to be on TV at a taping that they air later. Right. And John Cena was there because we wanted to have fans at the show. So then we were nobody. So you have John Cena come out when the show's over, and that keeps all the fans there. Right. And when I went out there that night, I just said, "Bada boom, realest guy in the room. How you doing?" And John Cena was like, "Who the fuck is that?" And then he asked me to come out in that dark segment of TV that was not on air, and I was meant to be fired, bro. So I was meant to go out there, talk shit, be the bad guy, get my ass kicked and get fired. But when I went out there with John Cena that night, when he asked me to go out, I brought along my tag team partner, Kaz XL, one half of Free Agent Z now. Me and him are back at it. But at that point in time, Big Cass comes out with me, John Cena in the ring, and I call somebody soft. I go, "You're SAWFD, Swift?" And then John Cena was like, "What'd you say?" And I was like, "Swift?" And I just kept saying it, and the crowd started saying it. The next TV tapings, me and Big Cass are not on the show. But the whole crowd is just going, "Swift, Swift, Swift." So two guys that were supposed to be fired, the fans just kept saying our shit. Right. So the fans got us out there on TV, and we just went out there and lost every night. So, like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know wrestling. I'm just out here, like, figuring it out. Right. And I'm like, losing every night, but the fans like it and it makes them laugh. And if it makes them laugh and it makes them feel good, then fuck it, it makes me feel good, bro. So I was just riding a roller coaster that I had no. And then to top it all off, you know, WrestleMania, I wrestled the Hardy Boys, who I used to watch when I was a kid wrestling for the tag team titles. I go on to win 2 cruiserweight championships in WWE. And, you know, for me, it was a fantasy that I can't believe was real.
This feels so hard to imagine this because from my perspective, like I've watched, you know, documentaries and shit about like what it's like to become a wrestler, and it feels like you just have to go through these terrible years and years of struggling in the underground world, and you have to just get beat up so bad, or you have to be super, super muscular or whatever. And you're making it sound like you just made a little meme and like you just boom.
Bro, dude, timing is everything in life. Yeah. I can't reiterate that enough. Yeah. I'm just blessed. I mean, I met this guy, he got me an opportunity. I got on off a YouTube video, and then the next thing you know, when I just happened to debut, John Cena is the biggest star in the WWE, is backstage.
Right.
So this is out of everyone's control.
But do you think that you just had the personality? Because, like, you know, yeah, the physicality of wrestling is a big part of it. I mean, you tell me, but the physicality is important. The body that you have is important or whatever. But were you just like so funny and charismatic that they just latched onto you right away, and they were like willing to let you bypass all the normal shit that people go through?
Yeah. No, they made it 10 times harder for me backstage.
Really? Oh, that made it harder because nobody respected you.
Yeah, man. More or less. It's like, who the fuck is this asshole coming in here off the streets of New Jersey talking this big shit?
Right.
You know, the same guy who's willing to go out there and get killed by you motherfuckers for talking my shit.
Did you get a lot of injuries early on because you weren't really ready for it on a physical level?
Well, that's crazy. I snapped I just left, I just did a Sneaker Inc. Video that we do, like Kenya Martin just did the last one where they talk about, they make a cartoon out of your sneaker story. And it's like a big production. And I just left there to come here. So I wore J's, dude, and I wore like a Mike Tyson getup, dude. I went to that photo shoot for that first day of wrestling, and I'm like, here it is. And they're like, no, it's not. You got to go buy spandex. You got to go get wrestling boots, or you're fired next week.
Wow, okay.
Fuck.
Spandex
I got to explain to my homies back in Jersey that I'm getting my ass kicked in fucking spandex. I'm looking at these guys wearing Speedos and shit. No offense to The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin, but goddamn Hulk Hogan, like that's not me. Look at me, motherfucker. You know.
So there's no option if you're gonna go.
They tell you what your name is. They tell you what to say on the script, and then sometimes you get to tweak that.
They've figured out that people want to see men in spandex, small underwear, where you can see roughly how big their penis is.
Roughly.
You get a general idea.
Some of these guys back in sex.
So wait.
No, I'm playing.
But is that how it works? Like, have you ever like taken a look at a wrestler and just been like, wow, dude, must have a huge cock?
Sometimes you see these guys look like they got fucking inverted belly buttons, and you're like, dude, what are you doing to yourself? Like, put on a fucking pair of pants, bro. Like, no offense to my tag team partner, Big Cass, he was smart enough to always get that big patch, you know, sewn into his shit, so you never ever saw a Big Cass, you know, piece. But the guy's 7 foot tall, so I'm sure he's got nothing to be ashamed of. I wouldn't fucking know, but you could ask, you know, maybe around.
I mean, you ever like just hop in the pool and then you get out and like your bathing suit is just like weirdly like shaped to your penis, and like you just realize that there's like a grandma and she's looking at the outline of your dick?
No, that's never happened.
That's happened to me.
I don't own no bathing suits. I was always a mesh shorts guy. You know, everybody in town always had an above ground pool. If you grew up in a town that had in-ground pools, you and I probably have nothing in common, okay? We're talking about above grounds.
So above ground sucks so bad. Bro, so trashy.
It was trashy neighborhoods.
I know.
We're talking about
where I'm from, my neighbor across the street had an above ground pool. I did not have any kind of pool. So that shows where I was at.
That was the party.
Yeah.
That was the party. Forget it. Pool basketball
they had
all
something
day.
I didn't have,
mesh shorts, whatever you were wearing that day coming home from practice and shit. You know, it was a different day. I talk about that sometimes recently with a couple of my homies. I'm like, you know, back in the day, you used to get your ass kicked. You get up, you go home. You know, you maybe fucking got to deal with the heat when you get there in school on Monday, thinking about it all weekend. Like, fuck, I was in school on Friday. I got my ass kicked. Now I got to hear about it on Monday. Now you got to hear about it instantaneously on social media. Yeah. There's not a kid in school who gets into some shit that somebody doesn't whip out a phone and start, you know what I mean?
Yeah, social media's
like
ruined everything.
Bro. It's crazy. I wouldn't say it ruined everything. It just made everything completely different.
Right.
We're going to be the most like important generation of all time. our generation.
Definitely.
Because we're the last people to grow up without cell phones.
We got the illest tweets.
You know what I mean? I was throwing rocks at chicks' windows to get them to come down.
Oh, yeah,
try to get a little piece back in the day. You know what I mean? Like that. When was the last time that happened?
She's like, "What the fuck are you
doing
here?" You're like,
print out
sex. She's
you
like,
remember?
What?
Yo, you used to print out MapQuest directions, right?
Yeah. Dude. I used to like look at the screen and just write down what it said on the screen.
Bro.
Yeah.
Circle shit with a fucking pen, print it out. You know what I mean?
When I think about
these old wrestlers that used to drive around, oh my god, road maps. They know every road in the country. You talk to an old wrestler, that's why you can't, like, I come on the show and I'm like, bro, I got broken. My little ass got kicked. I'm fucked up. No, I can't say shit. Could you imagine, like, trying to explain that to, like, you know, one of these fucking old heads?
But so drugs really were not part of the lifestyle?
Not anymore.
Really?
Not anymore.
But
I'm
even
actually
once
about
you
to
got
do
into
something.
it wasn't
I'm about to
happening.
do something very monumental.
Yes.
Okay? Because I got drug tested and we got fined $2,500 every time if we did pop for marijuana.
Right.
And that was not a strike. Anything else, your testosterone levels still being high, anything, they test for everything, you're popping and you're getting fired.
Really?
So could you smoke pot? Yeah, if you don't mind taking a $2,500 hit when they test you.
Right.
So it just wasn't worth it.
But wrestling, are you making enough money that you could just take a $2,500 blunt hit?
Wrestlers usually try to time it up probably like, you know, I'll smoke at the beginning of a month. If they came and they tested us this month, then I know I'm good for a couple weeks.
Right.
But like, I'm not going to fucking, you know, I don't know. Some guys smoke pot all year round, bro.
Stays in your
and that's
system
the
for a
thing
while, too.
I'm about to do. I'm about to come out right here. I got to tell you to the world, this shit helps me.
Right.
My body was broken. I got my ass kicked in wrestling. And I could not do pain pills, which led to all these wrestlers' deaths. I could not do, you know, drinking and become an alcoholic, which we see so many wrestlers go through, battle, and it just deteriorates you as a human.
Because that's the one thing you're allowed to do. The drug
That's
testing,
what happens to most of these
drink.
wrestlers.
Yeah.
And if you look at, you know, like the John Oliver piece and like a lot of these guys, I mean, you're on the road 300 plus days in a year.
Yeah.
And you can't do drugs. So what do? You drink. Right? A lot of these old heads used to pop pills and shit and drink and ride the highs, ride the lows with drugs, and they're all dead, man.
Right.
And I'm so blessed to have gotten out of wrestling with my mind and my body still intact.
Yeah.
Able to, you know, have conversations like this.
How old are you?
32.
Do you think that if you stayed wrestling until 40, that it would have done irreparable damage to your brain and shit?
I mean, if we're looking at CTE and all the things that they're saying, I just don't think that there's enough out there yet, but it's coming. It's all coming. We see, and you know, there's been studies that say CBD coats your brain and it helps. And I know that we, you know, like for me, that I don't know exactly what it is, but you got ointments now that you can rub on your body as anti-inflammatory that I used regularly when I was wrestling. CBD apparently coats your brain. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but
I'm ready to have my brain coated. Yeah.
I need that.
No, definitely. I just don't feel my brain has enough coats. But so you're telling me that this is basically like
throw a light vest, maybe a jacket on it.
So, but even people who like this is basically you saying that you'll never wrestle again because the WWE would frown on you smoking weed so strongly that they would not ever want.
The WWE would never let me smoke weed, bro. If you look at, I mean, you look at, for instance, like a guy like Joe Rogan and people that you've had on your podcast. I mean, you've seen Elon Musk smoke weed on Joe Rogan, okay?
Yes.
So what the fuck is the big deal? When Dave Chappelle sells out stadiums and arenas and smokes joints on stage, and I'm a pro wrestler, I get it.
Like
I'm a role model.
I
get it. I'm a role model. I'm a role model, but I'm not telling your kids to drink.
Right.
I'm not telling your kids to smoke pot.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking, you know, telling you right now that like this is a lot better than drinking. Yeah. I'm not a big drinker. I don't go out and drink a lot. I prefer to smoke pot, relax, create.
Yeah.
I make music now. That's one of the main reasons why I'm here, as we sit here and talk about all that wrestling.
Right.
You know,
we're gonna get to the music for sure.
I got discovered as a rapper in 2011.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I had to put that all on hold because of contracts.
Yeah.
When you sign that contract with the WWE, that first contract I signed was for $600.
$600?
$600 a week. All right. I had to take out credit cards to pay off student loans and to pay my car payment, and I was making more money before I was a pro wrestler. So
$600 a week though. So do you, and basically when you sign that contract, you're committing to be on the road.
You can't have another job. So when I first got there, I was making $600 a week. I would show up to work every day at 5:30 in the morning, and any pro wrestler that's there will tell you I was the first guy at fucking work every day.
Right.
And I went to my boss and I was like, bro, I need to get another job. I can't make these ends meet. And he's like, you're a WWE superstar. So you mean you're going to be on the back of a moving truck and telling people that you're, you know, a wrestler in the WWE? And I'm like, okay, I guess not. What was I supposed to do? So I took out credit cards and made ends meet. And I was sleeping on an air mattress. My little brother will tell you that came down to visit. I had no furniture in my place, bro. Like, I took a hit to go chase this dream that everybody told me I wasn't going to be able to do, bro. I'm 5'10", $185, bro. I'm not supposed to be the #1 merchandise seller in the entire WWE as a rookie.
Were you athletic before that?
I mean, I played college football, nothing to write home about, but like, yeah, like I was scrappy. I wouldn't, but you know, for me, wrestling, the athleticism is important, but the entertainment is so much more important.
Definitely, yeah. Even when I was a wrestling fan, which was largely when I was like 10, 11 years old, but I was always super interested in the characters, and the behind the scenes that I didn't really have access to at that time. Like nowadays, I feel like fans can kind of like see behind the veil a bit more, so that's like an interesting part about it. But like, I was never really that intrigued by watching these guys run back and forth and bounce off the ropes.
Exactly. Stone Cold Steve Austin made a living shooting beer at his boss because that's what everybody wants to do.
Right.
You want to go to your boss and give him the middle finger. And Stone Cold did that. And it's easy to relate to that guy. And they took it to extremes with incredible story writing at that time that was episodic. It was a soap opera. It was kept you in suspense. It was a different day and age because when Monday Night Raw ended at 10 p.m., boom, you have no idea what happened after that. There's no internet. There's no social media. Yeah. It's just like you have to wait till next week to see how this plays out.
Right. And it's like such a different age now. But you had a hard time fitting in with the culture of the wrestlers. What is the culture like backstage in those locker rooms?
The culture is extremely unique.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It is unlike anything else in the world,
for
bro.
This long a time.
You look over at any moment, you just see a guy punching, you know, the air and pretending he's having his fight. You know, just like, and then you see him talking to a wall, like, you son of a bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up. And you know what I mean? Like, you're practicing what you're about to do on TV and shit. So, like, you just see that all over. And I remember the first time I ever walked in, I was like, the fuck is going on?
Right.
Why is that guy over there talking to himself? And this is normal. And this guy's over here just throwing hands at the wall. And then, dude, I mean, you get in the ring and you learn how to fall.
Yeah.
And you do that 1,000 times.
And these guys are like competitors, but they're competing on
my brother rolled this up for me, and he didn't do a great job. It was supposed to be the first fucking, you know, smoking on TV ever of all time.
You want me to get my guy to roll one? Because he'll roll a fucking ridiculous
you know,
one.
And speaking of got a guy, did I not come through immediately upon arrival today? Who's guys, got a guy?
Head on over to @LeonofThePlug on Instagram, and let's see if we can get it verified, because this is Enzo claims he's got serious connections.
I put it on the I got to tell you, I think it's going to come through. All right, I think it's going to be tremendous.
I'm crossing my fingers and hoping. If so, I will get her. Her and I will repay you in some absurd way that will seem appropriate in comparison to what you have done, which I know is very vague.
You want to know a guy from Jersey. You always want to know a guy from Jersey because I always got a guy. You know? Yeah, I saw it. You sent out a tweet right before I came in here that said you need to get your girl verified. DJ Relent says it. And I'm like, no problem.
Shout out to DJ Relent for making this happen. Was that one of your...
DJ Relent is one of my producers, but more importantly, one of my homies, bro. He doesn't need to be working with a fuckboy like me, and he does. He's the man, bro. He's so multi-talented. The guy can shoot video, edit video, make beats, you know, connect dots.
There might have been a hair in there because I feel like these nugs, well, I guess they're just all weirdly connected together, yeah. If you want to...
That's why I don't smoke backwards, bro.
You don't? What do you normally smoke?
Swish.
You knew not to bring that here, though?
I knew not to. I mean, if I had one, I gotta tell you,
I've humiliated a lot of kids. Yeah, a lot of kids will come through. I mean, I don't hate them, but I just like prefer not to. Or like a fan will come through and they'll try to hand me some like disgusting joint that they roll. That's like the most horrible looking thing ever. They'll be like, "I've been dreaming about smoking with you, bro." I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I'm not putting.
Speaking of dreaming of smoking, now that I'm out as a smoker, I'll give you a little scenario story. Right? So I get, I'll buzz this one out. You know, I can put my mind on a treadmill. I can give you sound bites, or I can give you substance. We can fucking roll this one out.
A little bit of everything, yeah.
I go to Dave Chappelle Radio City Music Hall. He has guests like Jerry Seinfeld come on, pop out, and it's unpredictable. Montel Jordan is playing It's Friday Night, and it's Friday night, dude. Shit's popping, bro. So I am reluctant to be there. I can't even believe what's going on.
Designated driver got the keys to my truck.
Yes. that's I feel like that shit still pops. If you played that in like a high school party on a Friday night, I think people would move.
That's timeless. You hear it when you're like 1 year old, and then all of a sudden you're 18 and you're in love with it. It just works.
Yeah. So this shit was popping. He threw this great Talib Kweli and a bunch of other men, ASAP Ferg, Mos Def. So I go to this thing, right? It's right after like a fucking wrestling thing I had to do. So I ain't got time, and I gotta have a wrestling match the next day at like fucking, like a big thing. So
you gotta get up super early.
Gotta squeeze it in. So I go with a few of my homies, and Dave Chappelle's manager is a big fan of wrestling, so I got to know him well. And so they invite me backstage. I'm meeting all these people rubbing elbows, and afterward, I go to the after party, right? And I'm standing there, and I walk in, and it's a who's who, right? And I'm like, fuck me, bro. I'm like, no, I'm going to the bar, So I make that move right to the bar because I don't want to, offend nobody. You know how it gets in that room. You don't know if you're supposed to be in that room, So I walk over to the bar, and I end up talking to this guy. And this guy ends up being a weed dealer to all the people that are there.
Wow.
And I'm like, this guy's the fucking plug. Of course. I go into the bar, and I end up talking to the plug, right? So I sit down with him, and I'm like, what kind of weed you got? And he's like, you want Maui Wowie? And I'm like, think back to Dave Chappelle, stoner, cult classic, fucking. He walks into the dispensary type facility in Half Baked, and he goes, Maui Wowie. Remember? Empties it into his shit. Yeah. I'm a fucking huge Dave Chappelle fan. I must have watched that movie 1,000 times growing up. So I roll up some Maui Wowie with homeboy. And I walk over, and Jeff Ross, who's one of my good homies, one of my buddies, the Roast Master General, shout out Jeff Ross. I pull up on Jeff because he brought me there, and I'm like, yo, here, hit this. Next thing you know, dude, Dave Chappelle rolls up, bro. He smokes the joint. When Dave Chappelle goes somewhere, everybody follows. Now, I don't even want to tell you the names of the people that hit this joint. Really? It gets back around to me. I put it in my pocket, and I walked out, still got it.
Just because it was so legendary, because of so many superstars that
couldn't believe it. I rolled it up. I found this fucking guy. He had the weed. It was Maui Wowie. It was Dave Chappelle. He smokes it. All these celebrities. David Blaine. Fucking I don't want to out all these weed smokers, but Talib Kweli, Mos Def, David Blaine, Jeff Ross, Dave Chappelle, and like a few other people smoked this joint, and it gets back to me. And I just took it. It wasn't a blunt. It was a joint. I wish it was a blunt, but it was a joint. And I don't even roll joints, but I rolled this one. I put that bitch in my pocket, put it in a plastic bag, and got it in Jersey.
That's lit. Damn, doing drugs with,
that's what I'm
with
saying.
celebrities.
Like wrestling, I had no idea. I had no idea what was going on. I'm wrestling, but it's getting me to places like this, where I, live a little weed smoker dream. Fucking the guys like the Willie Nelson of my era, like Dave Chappelle, bro.
Yeah,
fucking Half Baked.
Crazy.
It was dope, man. That was cool.
Wait, so okay, I want to talk a little bit more about just like that world, like the backstage world. Like, did you manage to actually make inroads into being cool with all these people and getting their respect, or what was that process like?
I think what worked and didn't work for me in wrestling was that I never tried to. I never tried to be a part of the locker room. Never tried to be a locker room guy. Never tried to be a locker room leader. Never got involved in the politics. I had a different happening than anyone else. Bro, I'm a kid from Jersey, made a fucking rap video, got thrown in the WWE, dude. I smoke pot and shit. All of a sudden, I'm in this room. Most of these guys listen to rock and roll, okay? I learned more about that music than I ever would have in my life because I grew up listening to hip-hop. Now I'm driving around with guys from Japan and fucking China and everywhere in Europe and Germany, and I'm just learning about culture and life, and I'm just taking it all in. Like, whenever there was somebody new there, came in from maybe overseas. Like, I remember like one of my homies, this guy French, he came in from France. He tore his ACL right away, right? Like, first day, I'm like, he don't know nobody. He just tore his ACL, right? So like, I was like, yo, homie, you need a ride? So I took him to the hospital, took him back, and like, I still talk to homie now. He ain't been with the company for years. Another guy from the show Tough Enough, like, he got a lot of heat in wrestling, all right? What they call like, the boys don't like you in the locker room and shit like that. And I remember he got shunned and brought to wrestling court where you have a judge, jury, and executioner, and they fucking give you punishment and shit.
Really?
Dress in the hallway, no locker room, this, that, or the other.
They have a whole court system.
They have a whole court system, bro. So like right after that happened to him, I took him for a ride. I was like, come with me, bro. You good, man. Don't worry about that fucking heat, man. Talk about life. You know what I mean? I never tried to politic because the first time I ever went on TV, I was supposed to be fired. I wasn't supposed to make it. I just said, shift. And the whole crowd started saying it after that. And I never had to politic because I always lost. And then that turned into something, and I was blessed to have that. But like, for that roller coaster ride, especially the beginning part of it, bro, I was fucking, what is going on, dude?
Right.
What is he talking about? What are we doing in this match? Can I just talk shit and get hit in the face and then fall over?
Ridiculous learning curve, right?
Yeah, but by the end, dude, I was fucking based.
Based?
I was the fucking best.
Oh, you were the best. Base.
best there ever fucking was.
But so you got huge, like the fans just fell in love with you, or like,
yeah, well, it wasn't just me, bro. It was I had a tag team partner and still do. Like he's my business partner in life and shit, bro. Like, like that's my homie. Big Kaz was his name in WWE. He goes by Kaz with a Z at the end now.
Right.
C-A-Z.
I was supposed to interview someone today whose name is Big Kaz. It was not the Big Kaz that you're talking about.
Oh yeah, is he getting hit with fucking copyright infringement from the WWE? Because I know my man did when he tried to come out as Big Kaz with a Z.
Oh, okay.
They sent him that quick letter.
Really?
Yeah.
He's an old school Big Kaz. He's a gangster. He's not
gangster.
Really,
yeah, he ain't worried about shit.
He raps, but
ooh, what, Vince?
Yeah. But okay, so tell me about this though. Like preceding the events that sparked off that would lead to you leaving the WWE. What space were you in your career? Were you super motivated? Did you think you were going to be doing this for another 10, 20 years? Where was your head at before things started to go bad?
I think that somewhere always in my mind, especially when you're living it and you're doing it at that level and you're in arenas all over the world every single fucking night, you just you think about wrestlers' vacation. You just know you're going to get hurt. You're just wondering when. I mean, it's the inevitable.
Are you
for
almost
all
looking forward to it in a way? Like,
some of us
I could
do.
take 6 months off if I fuck myself up.
Guys get burnt out, and they've got 3-4 surgeries lined up. They get burnt out, and they're like, all right.
And they just bang out all the surgeries at the same time.
Wrist done.
Take
gotta
9
go
months
get this
off.
knee
Or what?
scoped out. That's how it goes, man. And I was getting burnt out, dude. I was the most booked wrestler in the entire world, and I'm not just saying that. You can eat it if you don't believe it.
So that means you were on the road what percentage of the time?
I was on the road probably well over 250, probably maybe upwards of 300, honestly, because I lived bi-coastal. I lived in Delaware because I was forced to live in the WWE developmental system in Florida, and I took no vacation. I never had taken a vacation. We got off around Christmas time every year for like a week, so you get that vacation time. It's almost like fucking college break.
A week? That's the longest time that you'll have off as a week?
Yeah.
Holy God.
I was booked every single weekend basically from 2015 till January of 2018.
Were you making a good amount of money by the time that this
by the time it was going? By the time it was over, yeah. Yeah, more money than me and my family had ever imagined making, and the opportunities it afforded me, man, I would do it again, but like not now. Then.
Right.
Everything that I did then, I would do again. Now, I just can't. I can't put myself in that situation where I'm on the road 300 days out of a year. I'm getting my creativity stifled.
Right.
I can't be my own individual. I can't smoke pot.
You have to fall
I'm not
in
a bad
line
guy.
with
Like if you smoke pot, that don't make you a bad person. But I guarantee there's going to be articles written about me smoking pot, and that's fine with me. I wouldn't have done it if you know what I mean. But for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So it's just like wrestling. When you say something, you expect or elicit a reaction, So social media is no different, and you know that.
Yeah. No, definitely. So then what was the scenario that happened? Is like what we on the outside heard, well, especially from my perspective, since I'm not a big rapper fan, is that Tyler Grosso and Tupor were basically implicated in some kind of like weird scenario where it was alleged that you had taken advantage of a girl while she was fucked up at a party. Is that accurate?
No.
Is that off?
The police report came out, bro. So like that vindicated me tenfold. Thank fucking God.
But what I said is roughly what was said in the media, right?
Oh, bro. Well, what happened was they interviewed the chick that alleged this tweak. So you're talking about, this is the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. This is the biggest Raw of the fucking year. And I met a chick after a Red Hot Chili Peppers fucking concert. Yeah, through Tupor and Tyler Grosso, but I didn't know her. And you meet a girl, you don't know that bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not apologizing for shit, dog. I was at a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert having the time of my fucking life, and I got laid that night, all right? It came back to bite me in the fucking ass. But you know what? The people that want to apologize, maybe they got something to fucking hide. And I don't. So I came back swinging, unlike anybody else in that fucking movement. I took a 5-month social media silence, and I dropped the World Star music video, Phoenix, which was saying fuck you to anybody who would believe that dumbass shit because this girl waited until the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw and sent a tweet out at like 3 p.m. I had already gone through rehearsals for Monday Night Raw.
Whoa.
I was at the arena in the Barclays Center
How
when this
long
tweet
after
goes
this
out.
was
so
it?
is it a coincidence? In October.
So you slept with her, and then how many months until
4 or 5 months later?
Okay.
Like what? Like January?
Right.
And she tweets out like some shit like, I've been holding this in for so long. And then you wait till the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw right before it goes on air to send that fucking tweet out. So I call my lawyers and boom, boom, boom. And, you know, I got to pay lawyers to convince the police to do an investigation because I'm famous. They don't have any motive to do an investigation,
right?
You know, because they're basing so much shit off a tweet and people's word. You know, everybody dives on it.
She didn't go to the cops, but you had to go to the cops because you had to try to clear your name.
She ended up popping for like drugs or some shit or going to rehab. I don't know her fucking story. I don't know shit. All I know is the police had never ever contacted me once and still haven't to this day.
Right?
They have never contacted me once. So. Not before, not after, not during. They have never contacted me once.
It was really just a tweet.
It was a tweet.
Right.
And a tweet was in the height of the WWE's Me Too movement was happening, but in the height of the WWE's Women Revolution. They were doing their first ever women's pay-per-view that Sunday, and they had just brought in Ronda Rousey that week.
Wow.
And then this girl does this. So it's just a lot poured on top of time, and timing, like I said, is everything.
Yeah.
But the silver lining in all of this is, bro, is like you said, I would have probably had to been dragged out of the ring on fire. I was loving my job. I was loving my life. I was loving the smiles, the people. And I, more importantly, wasn't letting any of the hate get to me because I was playing a bad guy on TV.
Right.
It's a unique situation in entertainment in general. What rappers or Hollywood superstars are trying to make you hate them?
Yeah.
Which ones? A few maybe say shit. Like Kanye could stir the fucking shit, right? But
Still feel like he wants to be loved.
Probably.
I feel like somebody like 50 Cent is kind of playing the troll. Like he wants you to hate him. Or like even 6ix9ine, he was asking for you to hate him.
He don't give a fuck, bro.
He really is a
50
psycho,
don't give a fuck. I mean, I wouldn't call him a psycho. I would just call him a guy who got shot 9 times, lived, and probably doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
A great New Yorker.
Yeah, well, dude, you talk. We were just looking at G-Unit sneakers. Watch them all fly off of fucking eBay now. Thank you. We were just out there looking at beat up G-Unit sneakers. I was trying to cop a pair. I couldn't find them in my size. You remember the G-Unit sneaker?
I scammed them on stolen credit cards back in the day, yeah.
Blue Yankee fitted, G-Unit sneakers.
That was the look right there.
That was it, dog. I was white tees and you know, Yankee fitted, you know, but we had the blowout. I was all jersey. Don't mince it. Okay. You know, like I was a wife beater, maybe 2. White wife beater, black one over top.
Right.
White headband.
So you were a Guido before Jersey Shore?
Yeah, and that's why we cut the promo on them, talking shit. Me and my brother, I cut the promo. He filmed it. Like, you guys ain't even fucking from here.
Right.
You know, we call you
nobody on the show is from Jersey, right?
Nobody. Like, we call you gringos. You're not good in these streets.
Right.
If you come out here, you're getting fucked up. You're not good in my streets. And, like, I know everybody in Jersey, bro.
Were you fist bumping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. They found me right off the back of a moving truck, dude.
Yeah.
I managed the Hooters.
Really?
Yeah, for 9 months straight out of college.
Hooters is like training school to be a stripper.
Yeah.
Right?
I had a lot of girls, and I still talk to them all now.
It's the lowest on the sex worker totem pole.
It's the best one.
In a lot of ways, it's the best. It's the most family friendly.
Yeah, look at this. Got the Hooters tattooed on my arm, bro. Tattoo Hooters.
I can't believe I actually had looked at that and didn't think about how crazy that is.
I had to get that
during
done.
this. Wow.
It was the only real job I had since college.
And you have Warrior with a Wu-Tang
jobs.
W. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Waldwick Warrior, baby.
Is that
That's
Elvis up there?
Shout out Waldwick, dude.
Is that Elvis?
No, that's Frank Sinatra, Young
Frank
Blue
Sinatra,
Eyes, bro.
Right, okay.
Some good work here, don't I?
That's pretty
Mark
cool.
Mahoney did that. You know who Mark Mahoney is?
Sounds
on
familiar.
Sunset at the Shamrock.
Right.
Okay.
I fuck with the Shamrock.
So he does Johnny Depp, Rihanna, fucking Tupac, Biggie. He's tattooed everybody.
Yeah.
So listen to this plug I get. Leonard Skinner, all right? The remnants of the band now and the new lead singer, his younger brother, you know, Johnny Van Zandt, Rob Van Zandt, you know what I'm saying? So Ricky Medlock is the lead guitarist now. He was the drummer back in the 70s, I believe. But Ricky's a huge wrestling fan.
Right.
So Leonard Skinner, Ricky Medlock is a huge fan of mine. And I get in touch with Ricky. He gets in touch with me. Ricky Medlock, the fucking guitarist for Leonard Skinner. I'm on stage with Ricky, they're playing Freebird, looking back at me like, yeah, I'm out with my homie. I'm like, holy shit, bro, this is insane. Like, I can't even believe my life. You're talking like Forrest Gump.
Right.
I'm as free as a bird. And I'm like, this is nuts, right? Well, Ricky is like, you got to meet this tattoo artist, Mark Mahoney. If you move to LA and you don't get artwork from Mark Mahoney, you know, I'd be mad at you.
Right.
So Mark only does referral appointments. So fucking Leonard Skinner got me in the chair with Mark Mahoney. And when you get Mark Mahoney, what do? Bro? You gotta get some portrait work or something. So Frank Sinatra, I know he ain't gonna fuck it up.
Right. Wow, that's lit. That's fucking dope. Yeah. I should go to him to get some portrait work done. I've never got any.
Yeah, dude, he's the man, bro. But more importantly, you gotta look him up. He's a Rat Packer.
Yeah.
So he's in that music video with Lana Del Rey. She's with that old guy. You know, dude, he the smoothest looking cat you ever saw.
Definitely.
He's got 5 layers on.
Okay.
He walks in with takes the vest off.
Right.
Takes the coat off, takes the jacket off, takes the vest off, takes the cufflinks off, rolls his sleeves up, then you're getting tattooed.
That's class.
This is the guy.
Wow.
And he rolls in right before the appointment. Doesn't say much to anybody. When he sits down, he's smooth as butter.
You ever think
you
about
don't
that?
even feel his needle either.
People who dress really nice, they get a lot of respect. People view them in a certain way. I can't bring myself to do it. I can't bring myself to like put something. Yeah, right. Like,
bro, dude,
you can't even handle some sleeves.
Real1shop.com. Real G's move in silence like lasagna.
How's that selling your own merch after doing it through WWE for all those years?
If I get hit by Lil Wayne for this is just pasta on the back. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing your own merch now.
Yeah, man.
What percentage is WWE taking when you're doing it through them?
So I took 2.5%. I made them $8 million on a T-shirt alone. This one was very similar to the one I sold.
God.
$8 million in a year. I saw 2.5%. And I'm not complaining. There's more money than I ever made in my life.
Right.
I'm just stating the facts.
2.5%. Holy
Women lie,
shit.
men lie, numbers don't lie.
Oh, my God. That is filthy. Vince, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, he's created. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Vince, he's created a monopoly. In the late 90s, he bought all the wrestling footage that ever existed, and then he purchased the only wrestling place that was real competition, WCW, right? When he did so, he bought all the footage that ever existed of wrestling. Why? Because he foresees the future. He has his own network, and he wanted to be the Netflix of pro wrestling. So he has his own app, his own network, and when he switched from pay-per-view to you got to buy the network to watch WrestleMania and all that shit, like, everybody was like, what the fuck, man? And the boys, we used to get paid off payouts on the pay-per-views. Right. So we were like, what happens to the payouts on the pay-per-views now? How do we get paid if it's based on network buys and subscription buys? Yeah. And they've never really given you that answer. You kind of just get what you get. And then if you don't like what you get, you go and ask. And sometimes as a wrestler, I walk up to a guy and I go, dude, listen. I walk up to my boss. I go, bro, I nearly fucking killed myself, dude. All right? You know, I got knocked out fucking cold. On pay-per-view. Right. I need a few extra fucking dollars. That envelope is fucking light. And he goes and talks to Vince. Sometimes you get taken care of, sometimes you don't. But a lot of guys, I think, get the money that they ask for, but nobody. Shit, I can't say. I don't think a lot of people ask. I never asked for a raise once, ever. Really? Yeah. I actually turned down a raise once off of principle, and I think I got a lot of heat for it and always had. I was in principle. Yeah, I was in NXT at the time, bro, and I was a big star. But because I didn't know how to wrestle or something like that, you know, like this fucking overhead, you know, lore that exists amongst these guys who have been wrestling for 10 years in armories and shit like that. Right. They're going to sit there and, you know, point holes at my game or try to say some shit like that. And they always hung it over my head that I was found on a moving truck. And I was never a wrestler, and I was found in a YouTube video. So how could I make more money than these guys, right? Right. So I was a big star on the show, and I found out a girl that came in, Carmella, who's in the WWE now. Right. She came into the system and was making more money than me, and I was on TV. And then she started wearing leopard print and kind of had a gimmick that was with us now. She's a part of our crew now. A girl from Massachusetts is from New Jersey. And in our trio, I'm getting her over and holding a microphone and shit. And she's getting paid more money than me. And I knew it. So I never asked for money. But when they gave me a raise, I nudged it back. And I said, I see the light at the end of the tunnel here, and I'm going to be a fucking millionaire. I'm going to be a fucking huge star when I get called up to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, whatever that is. So this fucking chump change that you guys are trying to offer me right now, I don't give a fuck about an extra $100 a week. Wow. And they were like, oof. And then I got a lot of heat and slack from that. And I think it actually held me in Big Cass and NXT for a little while longer.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy. Wait, so let me just finish up on this stuff. How did you feel when that accusation actually came out? And like the fact that they
I was beside myself. I have a goddaughter. I have a sister. I have a mother who are like, bro, you couldn't imagine the pain that my family went through from this. Right. I mean, that's my only regret is that, like maybe I put myself in the wrong place at the wrong time. And you could put yourself there a lot of times. You need to make better decisions. And I'm learning from my mistakes. I know, I got to get an NDA anytime I see a new girl, dog. Like, that's the life I fucking live now. I don't trust girls. It's crazy. You get PTSD from a situation like that. Yeah. But I have a sister whose heart is broken, a little goddaughter who maybe has to hear about this bullshit one day. Like, if it ever, doesn't get, because I'm going 5 months without knowing what's going to happen because I got to pay lawyers to get the police to conduct an investigation because they got taxpayers' dollars they're not going to waste when there's real crimes being committed. Right. I'm not worried. If you are just a guy working at Starbucks and a girl accuses you of this in a tweet, no one gives a fuck. Right. So what? You move on. But with me, I want to vindicate my name. So I got to get a police report generated. Right. And how am I going to get a police report generated when nobody's going to answer the phone? Yeah. Nobody's answering the phone for me. They're like, fuck it, was a tweet. Like, that's not even fucking real shit. Right. So I had to get on the heels of these cops and they had, I had a lawyer on retainer for 5 months until the police report came out and said, yeah, this guy did nothing wrong.
But so the WWE, that's not enough for them, though? They couldn't take you back after that? Were you petitioning them to?
No. I at that point in my career, bro, I had felt like, honestly, in retrospect, looking at my life, the voice that I could have in the future, I just felt like I appreciate all the opportunities I got from them. It was a dream come true. It was a blessing. But I did everything I wanted to do there. I mean, WrestleMania against the Hardy Boys for the tag titles. I got fired with the title around my waist. Wow. I went out on top. That never, ever happens in wrestling. So the next time that I came back to the WWE, I showed up at a pay-per-view of theirs in November.
The SummerSlam thing, right?
Survivor Series.
Right.
Just showed up. Bought a ticket, wore a wig.
Right. I actually knew you were going to do this before you did it.
Yeah, it was bananas.
Right. And what'd you do? You like just stood up on a chair and started
that's
screaming?
All I needed to do, bro. That's all I needed to do is show up. Trend #1 worldwide. Trend over your pay-per-view. Right. I beat you in your own game, Vince. I beat you in your own game.
But what was the point
all
of that?
I did was show up and stand up.
The idea wasn't that you were trying to get back in?
No. I'm just a fan buying a ticket. Got a little fired up to watch the next match, you know?
Right. You just wanted to go viral or what?
Yeah, because I had a plan leading towards Madison Square Garden, which had just unfolded.
Right.
I had to let the world know that, like, this is like, people want to mince reality, dude. Like who I really am and who, like, the media might portray me to be. Right. Like, if you ever come to a meet and greet or meet me in person, you will see I'm like the nicest guy, and I want to go above and beyond for my fans because my fans pay my bills, and I am gracious and I have gratitude, and I go through those DMs and I show that love back. Because if you're playing my music and your heart is touched by it, like, I have a song Grace out that I made with my grandmother who just recently passed away, and if I had not got fired by the WWE, I would not have been living with my grandmother across the street for 5 months at the last 5 months of her life, and she lived across the street from me. So this woman is everything to me. I would have been on the road 300 days in a year. Right. I would have been off and running. But instead, I spent all that time and all those hours with her, because what else do I have to do? I'm not a pro wrestler. I have a link in my bio. I sell t-shirts, I do autograph signings, and I make music now. So my music is generating me money. These other things are generating me money. I'm not out here trying to be a millionaire in the WWE. This time for me right now is with my grandmother. Definitely. So I had that. I made that music video. And so oftentimes, I have fans that DM me that are just so touched by it. Right. And that means more to me than anything I ever did in wrestling. My music, touching people's lives, knowing that they're watching a music video that I made with my grandmother, who passed away. Right. And I knew she had congestive heart failure. We knew it. She didn't necessarily know it. But when you do something like that and you touch people's lives, that to me is in essence why I got into entertainment. Right. You know?
I feel like, well, so how do you feel like the fans that you had from wrestling felt about the music, and to what extent
I came
do you
out
think
swinging
that
right away.
Carried over?
So I came out swinging, and I did pure wrestling move. I did a heel babyface turn, right?
Right.
I came out as a heel because I was a wrestler. I was a heel, and I came out with a fuck you to anybody who said fuck you to me, and thank you to my fans.
Right.
There's a subliminal thank you and fuck you in this whole message.
Right.
And I dropped that on World Star. Got millions of views, millions of streams. And, nothing crazy, but this is my first rap track ever, my first rap video, to infiltrate it like I did with a meet and greet going on in Times Square when I dropped it, with 4,500 people showed up.
Right.
I mean, that was a movie. So I then dropped Grace, which doesn't have any curse words, doesn't talk anything bad, and is inspirational music. Because I have to give to those fans too.
Right.
And I don't want to put myself in a box. And while I did wrestling, and people like The Rock were able to translate into the biggest grossing star in the history of Hollywood. How did he do that? You got to look at the global mechanism that is the WWE when it comes to marketing.
Right.
You go to India, Peru, Ecuador, Chile, Japan, China, Germany, Ukraine, you go to Afghanistan, you go to, Saudi Arabia, they just did, which was real controversial. They do Dubai,
it's huge
Australia,
in all the places.
New Zealand, sell out arenas.
Really?
But here's the thing. Here's the trick that The Rock used to build his brand, because that's what this is just building your brand, right? Why is it that when The Rock goes, the millions, holds the mic up and they go, and the millions of The Rock's fans. Right. When he goes, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. When he says this stuff, the whole crowd says it back with him. They don't even know how to speak English. When I walk into an arena with Big Cass, from the first day I was ever on TV to the cult following I garnered in NXT before I debuted on Raw television, I said, my name is Enzo Amore, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Big Cass, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guys in a room. How you doing? And if you ain't down with that, there's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. SAWFT. Shift. Whole arena, 85,000 people, WrestleMania. Go to India, sell it in an arena, I hear it from them. That was a part of the brand building process that the other wrestlers were completely missing out of the gate. I walked into every arena, and what did I do? I introduced myself.
Right.
Simple. Why wouldn't I introduce myself?
Right.
But you're all going to say it with me? I didn't even know how the fuck this shit happened.
So you feel like that was kind of like an accidental thing? That wasn't some like you didn't have a genius viral marketing strand to your brain at that time?
Of course, absolutely.
It feels like that was like too, like when you say that, it sounds too well put together to be accidental as a marketing device.
It was accidental with the soft thing with John Cena. Okay. So when I said the soft thing, that fucking thing got popping.
Right.
And we just had to build upon it. So every time they wanted to see me in the ring and they didn't want to give me these long matches and I was going to go out there and lose, they're going to give me more time on the microphone because it's segmented television. We go to commercial breaks. So if you're in the ring for 5 minutes and then you go to a commercial break, the referee's telling you, hey, we're in a commercial break, right? Okay, we're coming back from commercial in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get to action.
So what do you do during the commercial break? You just
sometimes you do
bide your time.
I would do tomfoolery, bro. I would fuck around. Like I'd roll out of the ring, go grab my wig from a kid, fucking do my dance, get chased around by some guy. When you get back from the commercial break, I'm in the ring, I get super kicked in the face, fall.
Do the fans get that you're fucking around because it's a commercial break? Do you think they know?
Yeah,
to some
they do
extent?
in the arenas. In the arenas on TV, yeah. In NXT pay-per-views. And television when we were shooting it, they figured it out eventually,
Interesting. Do you feel like the fans ever really reacted negatively to you due to the accusation, or do you think that
I mean, I got hate mail, bro. I got things said about me, to me, people that think they know me due to articles that would depicted me in certain lights, due to wrestlers that spread rumors and talk to beat writers and fucking, conversationalists on the internet and forums and bullshit.
Right.
Like, if you get to know Eric, the real person, you know that I didn't drive with the wrestlers. I didn't really hang out with them. No. My enemies, few and far between.
Right.
But you have to understand, an enemy of mine is not an enemy of mine.
Right.
Like, I don't have hate in my heart. I hit the same shtick every day when I walked into work. Every person I saw, and they might have hated me for it. But when they're like, what's up, Enzo? I'd stop. Full-fledged stop. Yesterday was the best day of my life. You won't believe what happened. I wake up today. Today's better than yesterday. Unbelievable.
You would say that to everyone?
Everyone. And then I'd walk on. And then I'd walk on.
Right.
So do you love that guy or do you hate that guy?
Yeah.
But that's the way I was living.
Right.
I was so happy to be there, bro. I couldn't even fucking believe it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nobody was going to break my shine. They fucking tried to a million times. I got threatened to be fired more times than any other wrestler.
Right.
But that was because I stuck to my gun so much on what I wanted to say on a microphone. And I was not willing to put up the veil and you know, a facade and pretend to be this person, because the character that I had built in the mirror because of inspirations like Jim Carrey. Like I watched documentaries on Jim Carrey where he was just talking in the mirror over and over again, making faces, doing this, doing that. When I got signed by the WWE, I was like, dude, I fucking don't know how to wrestle. What can I do? So I wrote. And I ended up coming out with stacks of books, bro, and music. And through music, I could always pull zingers and one-liners. Writing all my rap shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I never stopped writing music. I just contractually could not make music,
Right.
but I never stopped. And so I just had bars, bro. So I would just pull bars out. Bang, bang. Like, you're SAWFT Swift? I'm a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. It's just like bars, and people are repeating it and catching on.
Right.
But, you know, like actually one of the things that happened to me that was very organic was due to my brother. My brother and his homies are sitting in the mall. The first time I ever came out on TV, I organically did not have it in my script. I just looked over at the people that were in the aisle and I was like, well, what do we got over here? A cup of haters? A cup of haters? And then we're selling mugs that say cup of haters. And we're selling t-shirts that say cup of haters.
Right.
And it was because my brother told me, he was sitting in the mall with his homies and somebody walked by and was like, his homie was like, well, what do we got over here? Cup of haters?
You just fed off of that?
I actually said couple.
Yeah.
But when my brother said, if you listen to me fast, it sounds like couple.
How did you spell it on the merch and shit?
C-U-P-P-A.
Yeah, okay.
So that just kind of happened organically, and that's how a lot of that shit happens. So you say something, and all of a sudden it hits, and you're
But
like,
do the people,
that shit's hitting different, dog. That shit's hitting different.
Do the people at the WWE, do they want you to be coming up with your own catchphrases
Fuck
and
no,
shit?
bro.
Or
I mean, yeah, but not. Yeah, like,
they want you if they like your ideas, and they don't want you to.
They
if you're,
tried. I mean, here's Enzo, bro. This is me the whole time I'm there.
Yeah.
They got me in a box, and God, fucking kid, God, dude, this
Right.
kid just, bro. I just had so much to say,
Right.
and I just wanted to say it all. And I was like, why isn't this fucking 3-hour show just on me tonight?
All about me, yeah.
About me, right?
Right.
You know, because I'm watching this shit and it sucks. Right? I don't give a fuck about what anybody else is saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out there and tell you right now, yeah, match not so good,
Right.
and promo even worse. You want to learn a thing or two about a thing or two, I'll teach you a thing or two.
Right. Do you feel, because it's kind of a fucked up thing that happens in the media and shit where you get accused of something, everybody has their negative opinion about you.
This thing blew up as silver lining for me, bro.
Oh, so you
I mean,
feel
bro,
like
I played in a
seen
Snoop
that?
Dogg charity football event, all right? I covered T.O., dog. I covered Reggie Bush out that bitch. You know what I mean? I got to smoke pot with Adam 22 right here. You know what I mean? I'm fucking hanging out with 50 Cent, shooting videos. I RKO'd fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine before anybody else got their hands on him, dog.
Wow.
That shit was real, man.
Yeah.
Real G's moving silence. Show up at your show with a wig on. Why did I do that, though? Back to that.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
To show the world of wrestling that I'm not scared of shit and I'll do anything. How does Conor McGregor make all this fucking throwing chairs, people getting wild, Khabib? Bro, if I'm marketing myself as a fighter, Brock Lesnar making millions of dollars in the WWE, Ronda Rousey making $1 million in the WWE. You want a fucking fighter? You want a guy who does not give a fuck? Because that's what the people want. The people want someone that they cannot predict. They have no idea what type of action this guy's capable of. They have no idea what he's about to say when he picks up that live mic. What's he going to do? What's he going to say? That's pro wrestling, and I understand it as well as anyone. So I show up at your show. What do? I cement right then there. I'll show up anywhere. I'll do anything. What the fuck are you going to do about it? Then I go on to do Madison Square Garden and reunite for the first time after the #1 ratings draw in the entire year 2017. Me and Big Cass break up. We get back together on our own terms at Madison Square Garden in the first ever show at Madison Square Garden by a non-McMahon in 60 years.
Wow.
They sold out the show in 4 minutes. New Japan and Ring of Honor did a joint promotion the night before WrestleMania. Vince McMahon sues them, loses the lawsuit. They get to run their show. He moves his show for NXT to Thursday night at the Barclays Center to not go head up against it. They have March Madness going on that night. They have, WWE Hall of Fame going on that night. So there's a lot going on in the world. Me and Cass reunited, and that trended #1 worldwide.
Wow.
And how did we do that too? We got into a fight. And in pro wrestling, when you send Brock Lesnar out there against Randy Orton and he's busted open, he's gushing blood, and we sign these contracts and licenses that say, fighting and blood and this, that, and the other, and this is entertainment and not boxing and not fighting, and there's sanctions that go along with, licensing these things.
Right.
When somebody bleeds in the WWE, you run up on them and you referees have gloves on, because hepatitis was like a wrestler had it one time, and then like fan out there or some shit. So
if there's blood, it's a big deal now.
Big deal. They try to stop it. They try to take care of it. They try to stop it as best they can. They usually don't call it. If it's a Raw and it's a meaningless match, meaning me and you had a cold match, we just get in there with no storyline. Yeah. And when you bleed, we're going to stop the match. Really? But if it's really important and you bleed, we got to work through this one.
See, I used to watch ECW, so that just doesn't
jive
with me.
Then.
Yeah. I was a kid. We were watching that shit.
I grew up on that, bro.
Yeah.
So we brought the edge back to it. Me and Cass ran into Madison Square Garden. We ran into 3 guys, 3-on-2 fist fight. 3 guys who are literally crazy enough to have a fist fight in Madison Square Garden, with 2 guys who are also crazy enough to have a fist fight in Madison Square Garden. I mean, we pulled no punches.
You were actually hitting each other?
You watched that thing, dude. People got choked out. People got fucking punched in the face. I took a fucking guardrail, busted open, bloodied. And that's how you make it real. That's how Brock Lesnar makes it real with brother and bust Randy Orton bloody, and every one of us backstage are like, was that real? What the fuck? Chris Jericho runs backstage and tries to fist fight Brock Lesnar like a psycho because he thinks Brock's going against the business. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, but Brock probably had an agreement with Vince and Randy, and there was probably big money paid to go get bloodied up like that, right? Yeah. Well, me and Cass, we showed up at the Garden, jumped the guardrail, came in from security. I walked into the Garden at 8:15. I walked out of there at like 8:45, 8:30. I don't know. We just rolled in, jumped the guardrail, had a fist fight. Kind of security broke it up at the end, and me and Cass walked out of there with our middle fingers in the air to fuck you, Enzo chants. Nobody had any idea what the fuck just happened.
They were saying fuck
Enzo? The internet just blew up. What the fuck just happened? Yeah, we're the bad guys, bro.
You feel like they look at you that way now?
Bro, we just showed up to the wrestling show, right? Wrestling enthusiasts, the smartest crowd of people in the world.
Right.
They fucking sold out an arena in 4 minutes. They are the smartest fans in the world. They're the ones who write all the articles about wrestling that think they know everything. And they just got worked. They have no idea what just happened.
Do you feel like they feel like they got worked?
Oh, they all know they got worked, including everybody in the locker room, bro, because it wasn't a work.
But do you give a shit?
We didn't work. It wasn't real.
Do you care what the wrestling fans think about you at this point, given that you say that you're not a wrestler anymore?
No, I dictate the narrative. I mean, I'm still involved in wrestling to a capacity. I just showed up and had a fist fight at Madison Square Garden.
Right.
I mean, if there's a wrestling match that, is intriguing enough for me to have in life. Like, for instance, all right, I'm free agent Z with Big Cass right now, right? We want to reinvent the business model and notion of pro wrestling and promotion. Okay, so if I want to put on a show, why do I need to sign to the WWE to do so if all these artists are doing theirs and social media has afforded people a platform to be the stars on their shows? And so, like, in essence, okay, if, for instance, I got a buddy who works with Nitro Circus. Those are my guys.
Yeah.
Right? I love them. He's been begging me and talking to me for a while about doing a Nitro Circus, get a wrestling ring in the fucking arena and do a show also. And I'm, in my mind, jogging like, who would be my opponents, who's not signed to a fucking major company that would a non-compete and shit. And then I start looking up and down the line. I'm like, I know who to fucking call out. So you want me to call somebody out on this shit? I'm calling out 2 fuckboys, okay? Rich pricks that think they fucking got hot shit that, because they have no real job, no real fucking talent, nothing. They literally get paid to just videotape themselves talk shit. No offense to you. You're good at it.
I feel like I know who you're going to say.
Logan and Jake Paul. All right? Come around. I'll fucking smack the shit out of those motherfuckers. Do you understand that Big Cass is 7 foot tall? 7 foot tall.
Right.
You think Logan Paul and Jake Paul are going to be talking that big shit?
But you'd rather do a wrestling match with them than a boxing match? Because they've done that.
They've done boxing matches and sold out arenas, right? Have they ever tried a wrestling match? Have they ever been hit with a steel chair?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Have they ever fucking been busted open, bloodied, and bleeding out in a fucking ring? If they think they got fans, if they think they can fill up an arena against the hottest tag team in the fucking world, hands down, me and Big Cass, we are free agents.
I like
We're
this
free
idea,
agency.
yeah.
Free agency. You guys have friends at Nitro Circus, and I know it. I've got friends at Nitro Circus, and I know it. I think I got plugs at the Staples Center where I got kicked out of. I think I can fill that motherfucker up against the Pauls because it's just everybody wants to see these guys get punched in the fucking face.
Right.
I mean, these guys are fucking J-Browns. This guy's a stage one jerk off. His brother's a stage two.
Why do you not care for them? Any reason in particular?
Logan Paul was begging me to be on my Snapchat with fucking Champ Sports backstage at Monday Night Raw. I don't know, maybe they had some agreement with the WWE. I saw this fuckboy backstage at WWE Raw, bro. He wish he had my job, bro, but he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a job.
Logan Paul?
Logan Paul.
He might not have a job, but he's making a lot of money.
He's making a lot of money. That's what I'm saying. Do you like money?
Right.
Do you like, well, you know what money looks like when you see Enzo and Kaz in a wrestling ring. We have not wrestled with each other since the WWE broke us up. Okay? We have not had a single wrestling match in 2 years. Over 2 years. I haven't come out of retirement. The last match I have had in my life was for the WWE Cruiserweight title when I took that brand itself on the road for the first ever WWE Cruiserweight tour. They had never toured just the cruiserweights. But with my headline marquee, my name, we sold out fucking 2 shows, did 2 arena shots, and I'm saying to myself, those are the last matches I ever had, title matches.
Right.
I'm out of the singles competition. My singles competition days are over. I went out on top with a title. But if you guys like Logan and Jake Paul, they think they're athletes. They think they can talk shit.
Right.
If they want to try to talk shit with the best in the fucking world, like, dude, Palsy brothers, you know? The Palsy brothers are going to walk out of that fucking ring with cerebral fucking palsy, okay? You're going to get smacked upside the fucking head. It's just a stone cold fact. Big Cass is a size 16 foot, all right? And he will break it off in your fucking ass, you know?
Well, they've also both put out music. They both put out rap records.
See what I'm saying, bro?
A freestyle rap contest would be interesting.
A freestyle rap contest?
A battle followed by a wrestling match.
This is what I'm saying, man. I got the people at Nitro Circus. I think they do too.
Right.
To put a ring up, you know, the Paul brothers versus the hottest tag team in the world, and we have no desire to get really right back into wrestling.
Right.
In a contractual, you know, obligatory fucking exclusivity deal that just ends up me being like, no, 2.5% of merch. Nah.
Right.
Nah. You want to fucking fight. You want Enzo to get thrown off the top rope and drop, you know, bada boom shakalaka right on your 1, 2, 3, game over. These guys cannot compete with us. If they think they can compete with us in a wrestling ring, we put on our own show.
Right.
Cut the middleman out. Cut the middleman out.
I think it's a good idea. I think they should go for it.
I think they should too, because if they're rapping, I'm rapping. We got Big Cass in the studio now. Guys got pipes that blow exhaust. Right. And he plays the drums.
You could both put out diss tracks in the lead up to the wrestling match. That would help with promo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you could act like it was organic and like we didn't just plan this out on a podcast in advance.
No. Not at all.
No, that didn't happen.
I'm gang.
I like that idea.
If these guys want, if they think that they can have a wrestling match and fucking coexist in a ring with us, dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, these guys got egos. All right. In my fucking world, bro, your ego's gonna get fucking squashed by a 7-footer.
Yeah. What if you have to get drug tested for this fight? What if they have to get drug tested for this fight?
Strictly testing for marijuana.
Yeah.
If they fail and I fail, $2,500 fines.
That's it? You got to keep it by the WWE playbook?
That's it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got, music out now, Virgil. On to the next thing. Before I fucking segue. These guys get their ass fucked up. I can't get them out of my mind now as Logan Paul, Jake Paul did.
Really?
One kid's hair's thinning out, dude. He's fucking clogging the sink. He's got to call a plumber, dude. Fall back like a hairline kid. Ain't got no fucking shot, all right? You know what I'm saying? Big Cass out here giving nuggies and fucking wedgies to these guys, all right?
He'll
if these guys come around, they're getting wedgies.
Right.
Big Cass is 7 foot tall, all right? And I'm no fucking schlump. All right? Say the wrong thing and the shit turns real quick. Go back and watch what we did at Madison Square Garden. Shit can pop off. Go look at Brock and Randy Orton and see people bleeding. Shit can pop off. It's an art, boy. It ain't fucking ballet, though.
You want me to FaceTime Jake Paul right now?
You fucking should.
Let's try this out. Let's see what he's got to say here. I don't think I have Logan Paul's number. I think I only have Jake.
Yeah, I should have saved his social media when he was on my Snapchat back in
Watch me not be cool and he won't pick up. Let's see if I got enough clout to get picked up.
Got enough clout?
Yo, Jake.
What up, G-Money?
Dude, we're on the podcast, and this fool right here has a message for you.
You just got some fucking smoke, bro. I just talked to some people about Nitro Circus, and I think we can get a ring set up, and the Paul brothers get their fucking cerebral palsy ass brothers get their ass kicked by Enzo and Big Cash, bro. How you doing?
Yeah.
You ever fucking wrestled in your life, dude? You ain't got that. You don't want that smoke, bro? You don't want that smoke? The shit ain't ballet, brother. Shit can get real at any moment. You could ask Brock Lesnar or Ronda Rousey, kid. When to sell an arena and get dirt bikes jumping over top, I'm going to tell you right now, Big Cass is a size 15 boot and break it off in your ace.
Heck yeah, bro.
Stunned. He has no what to do.
I think it sounds good.
I don't know.
Oh, we're trying to get your ass.
He's a wrestler. He wants to wrestle you.
I did Snapchat with your brother.
Shit.
I was in the WWE for 6 years.
Yeah, he's like a wrestling superstar.
We trended #1 world.
Stone Cold Stunner your ass.
You ain't stunning nobody. I don't want to even know what your finish. Tell me what your finishing move is, because I'm gonna kick out of it. I ain't. Listen. I'm not here playing games. I do Jaeger bombs, not Batista bombs, bro.
I'll hit you so hard your tattoos fall off.
You hear this guy? He's got cheesy jokes, dude. This guy's got working on his craft now. He's the mac and the cheese.
I'm saying you guys need to rap battle too, though.
See, this is a whole production, dog. This is a whole production, dog. Put on a beat. He wants to battle off right top.
Yeah.
You don't want that smoke, dog. We get you in that ring, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, the shit can pop off. My tag team's 7 foot tall. All right, you can't teach that. You can teach a lot of shit.
You look like Conor McGregor retired.
And if he had fucking better hair, you know what I mean? You wish, kid. Listen, I got advice for you, all right? Don't eat yellow snow, don't piss in the wind, and don't fuck with me, all right?
All right, we'll see how this plays out.
We gotta get to say these guys at Nitro Circus say they can get a ring set up, Staples Center, Enzo and Cass versus the Paul brothers, bikes flying over fucking top. If you ain't got the balls for that, bro, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? But me, no apologies. Real G's. Get it done.
All right, there we go. We'll review the opportunity soon.
All right, let's get this bread, people.
Let's get this bread. That's what I'm saying.
So you get the first time me and Cass get back in a ring in 2 years. The last time we did was the #1 ratings draw in the WWE, and your brother was on my fucking Snapchat, begging me to get on my Snapchat backstage for the Monday Night Sneaker Watch when I was debuting Jordans that he wish he had. All right, you know what I'm saying? And when I'm done with that, we do Madison Square Garden 2 weeks ago, me and Big Cass. Trend #1 worldwide, Madison Square Garden. Kid, you ain't never done Madison Square Garden in your fucking life. All right? Never. Not never. I can walk it like I talk it blindfolded. You know what I'm saying? Walk it like I talk it blindfolded.
All right, Dad.
I'll hit you up.
We'll see if he wants that smoke. I don't want that fucking smoke, dude. Want that smoke. Yes, fucking spank him. The fuck out of here. Hang on.
What the fuck? That was kind of awesome.
He
does not know what just hit him.
No idea. He just got a whole lot of smoke.
A little bit lost. He wasn't ready for it.
He was not ready for it. That's how you do it, though, right?
That was
you call a motherfucker out.
That was beautiful.
You call a motherfucker out.
What else? What else you got going on these days that you plan on doing in the next?
Enzo the Wrestler came out.
Enzo the Wrestler came out. That was mind blowing.
Back to Enzo the Musical.
Yeah. What's going on with the music career and shit?
Oh man, so I've been making all sorts of great connections and plugs, bro. Yeah, I got the plugs, bro. So I think when I first jumped into the music, it was a whole lot to learn, dude. There's a major learning curve. There's a lot of people, and just like wrestling had etiquette, music has etiquette.
This is true.
It has politics. And I am still learning how that all works. But luckily for me, you know, I've a platform where I made opportunities for myself outside of wrestling, you know, through social media and shit. I stay relevant and manage to connect dots. So, like, I'm real tight with a few guys, Rock Nation, Rel Carter, Jay-Z's nephew, big fucking bruising motherfucking New Suge Knight, dog.
Wow.
That's what he calls himself, New Suge. Shout out Rel. Tommy Puzo, a Jersey guy, white guy. Yeah, we just did the Duce podcast for Memphis Bleak and them, Rock Nation.
Wow.
Me and Big Cass.
I got to get on that. I love Memphis Bleak.
Memphis Bleak is the man.
Legendary.
The man.
Great.
Yeah.
Very underrated rapper.
I just heard, I don't know if I should throw Tommy under the bus right now, but, you know, I mean, I might have heard a song or two that maybe the world has never heard.
Wow.
That are fucking legend.
I need a Memphis Bleak feature. A Memphis Bleak interview. You know, one time I was listening to an interview, side note, I was listening to an interview where I forget who it was exactly, they were interviewing Memphis Bleak, and then they started joking around about farting in the studio. Memphis Bleak gets real serious. He's like, oh no, we don't joke around about that. Memphis Bleak not with the fart jokes.
I love a fart joke. Nothing gets me going. Speaking of fart jokes,
because we're trashy white guys. They're cool black guys. They don't fuck with the fart jokes.
You want to talk about a billionaire who doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Alki David?
He just farted into that woman's microphone on the red carpet.
Did he?
She was interviewing him. He took it behind his ass, farted in it, handed it back, and said nothing.
This clip is out there on the internet?
It just happened.
I have to see this.
Just happened.
Alki David signs Chief Keef and then farts on red carpet.
That's gold.
Wow. And makes $1 billion at some point somehow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
It's nuts, bro. But I'm down with the fart humor. It always made me laugh.
Me too. Yeah. That's just still to
I
this
once
day.
had artwork drawn up that I put on Instagram for my fans. Like I kind of let them pick and choose some of the artwork that I put on my T-shirts at realonesshop.com. And I made one that said "Girls do not fart," but it's a donut, and it would look like the coffee logo for Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
But the cup, the white cup, was turned into a toilet, and it said "Girls do not fart." And nobody liked it, and everybody wrote like fucking 49%.
That's funny. It's like so stupid that it's got like the funniest shit I ever
thought
heard.
It was good because I had like, you know, and I tell girls, like I was with a chick the other day, and shout out to everybody at the Dog Pound gym. My girl Emily, a trainer at the Dog Pound, you know, I was like saying to her, she said something about yoga. I'm like, yoga's just a contest to hold your farts in. You know, like I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I mean, we did yoga as a group, like they made us do in the WWE a few times. Try to imagine looking around. I'm just letting them go. People are getting offended. They kick me out.
They kicked you out of the yoga class.
I have one of the greatest fart stories of all time.
I got suspended from high school for farting. Yeah.
I once was in promo class where it's acting class every Wednesdays in front of a green screen, and you talk and they film it, and then they give you feedback with like the upper echelon of WWE or producers.
Wow.
Dusty Rhodes is the OG. Dusty Rhodes runs the class. Dusty Rhodes is in there, and I'm like, dude, I'm undefeated in promo class, bro. Like, I mean, I'm fucking 5 years being cast, never been defeated. And Baron Corbin, this wrestler that's up there, is up there fucking having a tough time, bro. He just can't get the words out. You know, he's trying to fucking, you know, pick a fight, and it just sounds like shit. And Dusty Rhodes is trying to help him. And he's really taking it seriously because look at where Baron Corbin's at now. He just wrestled Kurt Angle, the gold medalist Olympian at WrestleMania. So they were invested in this guy. So they were working on his acting skills and shit. Me, mine kind of comes second nature. So you need me to cry a gangster tear, I bust one out. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there and, man, I don't want to be there anymore listening to this shit. And I just raised my hand. And Dusty Rhodes like, oh, my top guy. What kind of input do you have to help Baron Corbin with his promo? You know what I mean? And I just let out the loudest fart I've ever let out in my fucking life. All right? So loud that I get every range of emotion in the room. Girls are offended. Guys are dying laughing. Someone fell on the floor of laughter. Dusty Rhodes just leans over, and Baron Corbin also, like, I think he either laughed or something. And Dusty Rhodes goes, he never called me Enzo. He called me Enzo. Dusty Rhodes goes, Enzo, come here. I walk with him. He grabs me by the hand and holds me nice and gently, walks me straight to the door and goes, get the fuck out. Right? Oh, shit. Like, and I thought it was such a good reaction that it was going to count as my promo, and I wouldn't have to do a promo. I was like, because everybody's got to go up there and do a promo.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get anything better than that fart. Like, the reactions in the room, I could say the funniest thing tonight.
You just happen to have that fart, or can you fart on
Loudest
command?
fart ever. I have a buddy who can fart on command. He huffs.
Yeah.
His name is Elliot.
I knew a
bro.
dude in high school. It was
That's
amazing.
what I'm talking about. I'm still friends with that guy. He once shit on the floor, and we went to go check it out, and the dude walked in, was like, where is it? And looked down, it was on his shoe, dude. My homie Will Vanderveer stepped in his human shit. And we were like, yo, dude.
Yo, this dude in high school, I looked up to this fool who could fart on command. I wanted to learn, man. I did not understand.
It was a talent, dog. It was a talent. I loved it.
That's so sick.
So he kicked me out, but I got fired that night by the WWE because Dusty called up extremely upset about that fart. And then that morning, Dusty Rhodes, thank God he woke up before I did. He got me hired again, the same breath. And then he sat me down. I got fined $250 for the fart by the other people, not Dusty. But Dusty kind of let me, $250 fart. I want that fucking money back, dude.
Yeah,
I have a receipt for that.
That's
and I also got, they used to draw on the walls at a performance center, like the workouts. They'd be like, workout 1, 2, rep 3, 4. And I used to go around and there'd be like a lot of shit written on the board. And I used to turn every 3 into a penis. So I would make it the ball sack and I would just draw a shaft over top. And I would always do this when nobody was looking.
Right.
And this shit was going on for like a month or two. And people were trying to figure out who was doing it. Like, I'm not telling them. A few good brothers know it's me.
Right.
I get a huge pop out of it whenever I see the coach see it. And he gets real upset. And he goes and like erases
Were you going hard with the full dick shape? You were drawing veins on it?
No,
pubic
not
hair?
at all.
No?
Not at all. It's a real nonchalant dick.
Okay.
But so
I got to vein it up. I got to do pubes.
Yeah, I just drew a fucking signature dick that was perfect.
Okay.
It was this. It's actually on my license. I drew a dick on my license.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, I fucking get caught mid shaft. The fucking strength coach walks up and I'm like, come on. You had to know it was me. It's been going on for a couple months now. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, come on. And he's like, and he goes inside and they tell on me, bro. And then they threaten to like fire me and shit. So I go in and I'm about to get fired and shit. And I'm like, my boss has shit drawn on the wall. And this is me, bro. This is kind of who I am. Right. And this is why kind of people can't deal with it.
Yeah.
Like I can see it. I get it. I'm not fucking numb to the shit. I just, I don't give a fuck. So the guy, he has shit drawn on the wall and I'm getting browbeaten. Fucking, what are you thinking? We get corporate sponsors like Nike who could be giving us fucking sponsorship deals and drawing penises on the fucking wall.
Like
here.
that's gonna stop them.
Right?
Nike's like, we were down, and then we saw this dick on the
three that got turned into a shaft.
If Nike's gonna come through, maybe get rid of the penises.
So I'm standing there, and my coach, badass Billy Gunn. First of all, the guy is Mr. Ass. He used to show his ass on TV. You know what I mean? Like it fucking, I don't know. That's his gimmick, bro. He does suck it, DX, and I'm like, bro, this guy is telling me not the fuck. So I'm taking browbeating from him and the other guy and the fucking little fuckboy, strength coach there. And I just stand up and I'm like, what are we talking about? I'm like, come on, it's not a fucking big deal. Look at this thing.
You just draw one?
I just draw it. And I'm like, what are we talking about? And then the coach, badass Billy Gunn, just can't help it, bro. He just blows his lid laughing. And the other guy who's mad at me is like, $200 fine tomorrow on my desk. I'm like, are we fucking kidding? Are we kidding? Whatever.
Like drawing a dick is as
bad. $450 for a fart and a dick, dude.
Like drawing a fart is as bad as, or like drawing a dick is as bad as actually like exposing your dick.
Yeah, bro. I got fucking murked for that.
When I think about it, when I was like 13,
$450 that they still owe me.
When
now.
I was in junior high, we thought that was funny to just pull our dicks out and just be like, "Hey, look,
smash rat." They used to call it when somebody would slam it on a glass window and just press their body. Smash rat.
7th grade, I was at lunch. I would just like pull a ball sack out and just be like, "Hey, Sheila." She'd look at it. What the fuck? That was funny to us at the time. It will probably get you really, really in a lot of trouble now.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I probably shouldn't even admit that I was doing that in '97. I think I figured out pretty quick that you can't do that. Though.
Tupac's death and Biggie's death were like the cutoff, so you might be in the mix there. Like anything that happened after that kind of changed.
Right.
People got a lot more offended.
That should be. That's what I think about when I see this.
You know what they need to do? They need to come up with a whole new numerical system, like post Biggie, post probably AD and BC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's how I feel about Elvis. They're about to make this documentary about the sexual misconduct of Elvis. That happened before Tupac died. I don't want to hear about it.
It's done.
Yeah.
That Michael Jackson thing.
That's old shit.
Ended. What the fuck are we talking about? I do not want to know about any of this shit. When Billie Jean comes on, that's the last thing I want to be thinking about. All right? The last thing, you motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah, why you got to do that?
The guy's dead.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about it?
I feel like...
Is there restitution? I don't know.
The R. Kelly one was so bad.
I guess everybody does these days.
The R. Kelly one was such a blockbuster. I feel like we're not really going to see anybody freak out that bad.
Whatever happened to your buddy who was rolling
ones.
blunts?
Well, we're gonna probably have to get on that after this podcast.
All right, so here I got one more story for you.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about farts and fart humor. All right, this is a good one. Okay, so I got a buddy. He runs the Apple store out here at the Grove. His name is Big Rich. He's at the opening of my Phoenix music video. He's actually my best friend since high school. Okay,
sounds like a good guy to know. The
Great
Grove,
guy.
wow.
Yeah, at the Grove, he runs the whole Apple store. But you shout out Big Rich if you go in, right? So Big Rich, right? He's working at this Chicken Delight. So Rich works with this guy at Chicken Delight. I know the guy, and he goes in. This guy's a real loser type. Play video game, not fucking drink, don't talk to girls, doesn't smoke weed. Just like I don't know. What do you do?
Yeah,
I don't know. What does that guy do?
How do you have fun?
He creates Pokemon and plays video games.
He creates them?
Yeah, no, they got cards and shit. He's fucking whatever. He's
I
drawn.
play Pokemon Go, level 40.
He makes his own pops. You know what I mean? One of them guys. So this guy's a real loser, and he turns 21, and the guys at Chicken Delight are like, come on, bro, come on. You can't go out for a drink. So they get him over to the bar. They order him a drink. They're sitting there having a drink. A smoke show chick comes in, right? Smoke show, other end of the bar. They're sitting there, they're talking, whatever. The guy goes to the bathroom. They order her a shot and a drink off this guy while he's in the bathroom. He turned 21. Like, he don't talk to people. Let's order a drink to the girl on his behalf. Ooh. He comes back down. He sits down. The girl comes up. She goes, you ordered me this drink? And they kind of give him the Iggy, like, he's like baffled. And they're like, oh, well, we were trying to play a joke on him. Or it was like, oh, the kid starts talking to her. Next thing you know, things pick up. They're getting hot and heavy. And the other two guys are like, why didn't we order this bitch the fucking beer? You know what I mean? Like, fuck, if it was this easy, this girl's hot and she's talking to this loser. This guy's like, he's nothing to him and he's kind of skinny, fat body guy. Like, you know? P.S. He comes up to her. He's like, I'm going to go with this girl. We're leaving. What? You're leaving with her? He's like, yeah, her place is around the corner. She wants to come hang out. I'm like, oh, wow. So this guy leaves with the girl. They get into the apartment. Shit starts getting hot and heavy. Fucking around, right? This kid's a virgin. He doesn't even go out and drink. All right? He's with this chick. Start fucking around. She's like, do you want to fuck? He's like, yeah. She goes, okay, let's fuck. But right before they start, she's like, under one condition, you gotta let me stick these anal beads in your ass. And he's like, okay, what?
What a decision.
So this virgin, loser kid, picked up by this chick, she sticks the anal beads in his ass. He's going to fucking town. He's laying the wood to her. This is the most unbelievable moment of his life. She rips the anal beads out. He shits uncontrollably, bro. Everywhere. All over the bed, everywhere. The heat overwhelms his body, bro. He has no idea how. He runs into the bathroom and quickly draws a shower. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He's freaking out. Like, what do I do? You know, he opens the door, he looks, the girl's laying in the bed, rolling in the shit, goes, fuck me in the shit.
Holy shit. She leaned into it. She said, I don't give a fuck. I'm down.
Dude. She wanted that to happen, and that's why she was preying on a little loser kid.
You know what? And a chick who's down to shove anal beads in the ass of this virgin that she's fucking is the type of chick who might be down to roll around and shit.
That's why she did it. She yanked him to make him shit uncontrollably.
She wanted the shit.
She wanted this shit, and he didn't know. And he was in the bathroom. When he came out, she's like, fuck me in the shit. He was freaked out, grabbed his clothes, and ran the fuck out of there. And he's been traumatized ever since. I don't even know if that guy's still around.
Right, killed himself.
Honestly, it's a lot of those people in that time working at that place.
This woman's a sick fuck.
Pill epidemic.
Dude, I thought I knew about everything that was going on in these streets, but you just hit me with some fucking knowledge right there, shit. Bro. That's wild shit.
Best part about it, I go to college my freshman year. Kid tries to tell me the same story. Kid I meet in college.
Knows about this story.
Knows about this great story. And he begins to tell me about it.
Wow.
And I look at him and I go, fuck me in the shit. And he goes, fuck me in the shit.
Holy shit, the story got around like that.
The story has been built around. It's the shit of legend in North Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an amazing tale.
It's a good tale.
We got to talk to him. We need to get that kid on the podcast. Tell us about.
I don't think he's around, man.
He's probably not.
Those guys saw that guy. Nothing could get.
But you know what? That is an interesting question, though. Say that different universe.
Would you have fucked her? Would you?
If you're a 21-year-old virgin and you're a loser and this chick is hot as fuck and you're like, I can get some pussy and all I got to do is put these anal beads in my ass. That's a decision to make.
I still don't know
there.
how big they were. I mean, I don't know what we're talking about.
I don't even think I've ever seen anal beads in real life.
Anything bigger than a pinky is just going to be fucking a problem. Even for a 21-year-old virgin who's never gotten laid.
Jesus Christ.
21-year-old virgin never gotten laid. And this is, no offense to anybody who likes, a finger in the ass or something.
Good for you. Yeah.
You've been to a fucking Betsy Handy,
Would you have fucked her in the shit is the question. I think if I came that far, I'd probably be like, well, shit.
I don't think I would be able to get hard for it.
Really?
I mean, dirty pussy smell is the worst thing to me in the planet.
Yeah.
To get through shit, I mean, I don't even think a Viagra, is going to do that deal. Ugh. Yeah, that's gross, dude.
I'm glad.
Shout out to all the people fucking in the shit.
I haven't had a lot of shit.
You know they exist because you can Google that shit and you know it's out there. And you guys are sick fucks.
Oh, there's a lot of people in this shit stuff.
There's something wrong with you. I put you almost in the same category as, a pedophile.
Well, you know who I can hook you up
weird,
with?
Right?
I can hook you up with this girl we had on the podcast who said that she wanted a guy to shit on her chest.
Why would you hook me up with her?
So you can shit on her chest, yeah. So you could do it.
Never.
Why not?
But when I used to manage a Hooters, there used to be a guy, dude, he used to pay girls to come step all over him, right? And he got really off on it. And that was all that happened. And I know that that's all that happened. A lot of these chicks went and did it.
I know porn girls
that was the
who
thing,
do
right?
that
Like
shit.
I used to manage a Hooters, right? So like I have this posse of chicks in 2011, and I don't hook up with them. I use them as a promoter in New York City.
Right.
So I take all the girls with me when the fucking shit closes down at 1 or 2, and we go to fucking out in New York City. And I get all these underage chicks into bars and clubs. And it was just nuts. And I was kind of towing the line at the end with the promoter gig and the Hooters thing too much. And I was like, before I burn this bridge, I get the fuck out of here.
Right.
So I quit Hooters and tried to become a pro wrestler. And obviously that happened.
When you say underage, you mean like not 21?
They were like 20-year-old chicks.
Right.
Like most of them were like 20, 19. They all have to be 18 to work at Hooters. So chicks that were like 18 to 21 were like prime real estate at Hooters. Like that's a lot of the girls that worked there were like 18, 21. And I was 22, 23.
A lot of parts of
I
America.
was young, bro. They gave me the keys. They're like, you run the shit.
A lot of parts of America, the Hooters has the hottest girls in town.
Yeah, like.
It's weird. Not in Hollywood so much.
I love it. So like that's another way, like, I don't want to give away all my secrets, but like that's a way you can get weed.
Go to Hooters.
Just if you have Hooters tattooed on your arm, you're cool with the Hooters waitresses immediately.
Right.
And you just say, hey, like, where's the weed at?
Yeah.
Somebody always has got the weed.
Definitely.
So if I'm traveling around the country or the world and I'm in the WWE and we land on a Friday, there's plenty of weekends where I go without smoking. But if I find myself eating at a Hooters, I'll be like, you got weed pens.
Bad.
Everybody smokes weed pens.
My problem is
I always smoked a weed pen. I didn't smoke the flower enough on the road.
I go to town and then people are hitting me up like, I want to give you weed. I want to meet up with you and smoke, but you couldn't promote that.
Nobody even knows that I smoke, bro. So I had to keep it on the hush.
That sucks.
I trusted my Hooters waitresses. Shout out to my Hooters waitresses worldwide who kept my secret that I was a pot smoker coming through Hooters asking for fucking weed because that was G. And I wasn't trying to fuck you. I was just trying to get a G.
They could have exposed you on Twitter. That would have sucked.
I could have been exposed for a lot of things. One time, a Buffalo stripper aired me out on a bullshit lie. She was a wrestling fan. She came up to me right away when I walked into this place, and I kind of just steered west of this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you're a stripper. I'm in a strip club. You're a big wrestling fan. This could get dicey, so let me just stay the fuck away from you.
Right.
I ended up with some other chick on my lap and talking to her, and the girl that was like, just kind of eavesdropped on our conversation. And she went like took to Twitter and just went ham. Like, oh, Enzo said this to me, said that to me. I'm like, bitch, what? I wake up in the morning. This is great. I wake up in the morning. My boss comes up to me. There's all these articles written about me and a Buffalo stripper, right? So my boss comes up to me and is like, I got to deal with this heat. I see the article come out. Right? The fucking cherry just fell out. Right,
yeah,
come
that
on,
thing is not.
This is done. It's done.
This blunt's done.
Give it up. So my boss comes up to me and he's like, hey, what's going on with the stripper thing? What's going on with the Buffalo? This is not a good look. Da, 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 right? I go to him. I go, hey, listen. I don't know if you watched the campaign trail, but at a certain point, footage came out of Donald Trump saying he grabbed a girl by the pussy, and he went on to be elected president. So we're not worried about this one, dude. Ain't no video evidence of that shit. I'll tell you that right now.
To me, that's an argument for why you should have never been kicked out of the WWE as well. There's a precedent that's been set.
Well, beyond that, there was other people with the company who had charges pending on them, real charges. I had never even gotten a phone call.
Right.
Never even gotten a phone call from police.
Right.
So there's people that are under contract that are just not on TV, that are not getting brought to TV, but are still getting paid to sit at home until their charges are up and the law does do justice. And then if they're found innocent, maybe they get a job back. If they're found guilty, they definitely don't. But maybe they get their job back, maybe they don't. And we've seen that happen to a lot of wrestlers. When this shit hit the fan with me, you have to understand. I'm on TMZ, bro, with the title, walking out of nightclubs in Hollywood with The Weeknd. I'm just showboating Ric Flair style unlike any other wrestler. Vince McMahon loved it. Loved it. Because I get it. It's branding. I'm a bad guy now. I got this title. I'm a heel. When I was a wrestler in the WWE, I wore shirts like this, right? It said Certified G, because if you're in the audience, you can go out and buy that shirt and wear it too and be just like me. But when I'm a bad guy and I got this title, I'm wearing Gucci, bro. You cannot afford this jacket, you little... You know, you ain't making the money I'm making. I'm the champ, dog. I'm wearing Gucci slippers, Gucci jacket, you know, fucking Supreme, you know, everything. Hype beast, boom, out the yin-yang. I'm the first wrestler doing this shit. The only wrestler doing it. And they let me get away with it. They don't let a lot of guys do that. You walk out there with a Gucci logo or a Jumpman logo on there, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck? Get out of here!" But I kind of just set the precedent. Like, I'm gonna wear this shit, and this is the way it's gonna be.
I'm gonna drip.
I'm gonna drip. I'm gonna wear different Jordans every week. I'm gonna wear fucking Gucci. I'm gonna wear this shit. It plays into my character. You have to let me do it.
Was it hard to get them to do the budget for the Gucci?
They didn't pay for any of it.
You paid for it.
And I put myself in my own rental car and a hotel room everywhere I went in the world. Wow. I drove everywhere around the country. I drove alone for the most part.
You didn't hop on the bus? Isn't that how most people are getting around?
Bro. No, there's no buses. We rent our own cars. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Now, there is no off season of wrestling.
Do you want to
be in a bus? Do you want to be in a bus with the same people every day, all year round?
No, but
Raw and SmackDown are every week.
They're paying for your rental cars and shit?
No.
What?
You pay for your own rental cars. John Oliver just did this big HBO piece.
I gotta watch that.
No health insurance, no rental cars, no hotel rooms paid for unless you're doing an appearance for them that is non-wrestling. So meaning like if I did a Boys and Girls Club or something, or a Make-A-Wish Foundation that weekend on my schedule, I would get my hotel room paid for that night. Or if you did like media, if you'd wake up at 7 a.m., go do it. So you drive in from Boston to New York. You go do a media day at 7 a.m. all day, and then you go hit the road, and then you have a wrestling match, and then you go drive to Philadelphia the next day, do it again. And
quite a racket they have going there, huh?
It's the greatest monopoly in entertainment history, and I am actually I think it's gangster. Yeah. I'm not a guy who hates on it. I think if you could use the system, see where the flaws are and use it to your benefit, so that you can provide a wrestler with an independent contract to not give him health insurance or anything, but then also say, we don't owe you health insurance and you have an exclusivity clause so you can't wrestle anywhere else. How they get away with it? They got lawyers on retainer out the yin-yang, and they got contracts that have been chopped up, and they'll bring you, to court for a year. And can you fucking afford that? No. I respect it. I think Vince McMahon is a gangster. I think that shit is G. I think what he did, I just looked at it and I was like, how the fuck, when I get out, do I do it now?
Right.
And that's why we're on the phone calling out Logan Paul and Jake Paul and fucking with Nitro Circus and potentially having a wrestling match, with Big Cass and I for the first time in over 2 years, trying to, reinvent how the system's paid. The guys who are in there risking their lives for your entertainment, those are the guys who should be getting paid more. I've been out there on Monday Night Raw, and the person in the front row got paid more money than I did to wrestle that night.
The celebrities that were just hanging out? Or
a guy and his daughter bought $1,500 seats for the front row, $2,000 seats, and I got paid $500 to get my ass kicked that night. Because TV production costs a lot more money than the live event. So I usually get paid more on a live event on Friday, Saturday, Sunday than I do at TV on Monday. But the price of admission, the chairs, and just all you see this $1 billion fucking machine, and the wheels are always going to keep turning. Right. So it's either you understand it and get out and use it to your advantage, as opposed to bitching and complaining about it. Like, how do I kind of, in essence, do something that's different? Now, I'm not trying to be an all-out wrestler anymore. That is not my goal. That was once my goal, and I achieved it in spades, to do everything I ever wanted in wrestling. Yeah. Now I'm trying to take that global brand marketing, like we talked about with The Rock, and use it to my advantage to do something that's never been done before. If I make music, right, and I write movie scripts, and I write treatments, and I send them out and I float them out to Hollywood execs, and I'm sitting in meetings in New York City about scripts that I write but not acting in, and vice versa. Like, I want to act in some of them, you know what I'm saying? But not all of them. I have an interest as a writer. I went to college for writing. I wrote for the school newspaper. I have fucking weird, interests like Graham Hancock and like fucking crazy and ancient exoteric knowledge. Just I go down wormholes of conspiracy, and I just look at the infrastructure that was created in the WWE and how they managed to create this monopoly. It's a very interesting time because we have more billionaires, investors who are creating new wrestling promotions that just created a deal with TNT and Ted Turner. I don't know what exactly their schedule is going to be like and how that's going to correlate with the WWE, but it's a competitor. And that's the first blood that they've had in a long time.
Damn, I got to look into that. That's very interesting.
So the Monday Night Wars were with the NWO, where Barry Bloom, who's actually my agent. I was the first guy that Barry took on in a long time in pro wrestling. He currently represents Goldberg, Chris Jericho, good old JR, Mick Foley. He represented Jesse Ventura back in the 90s. Triple H he represented for 10 years. Stone Cold at a certain point. And he got all these guys paid back and forth when there was competition.
Right.
When there was no competition, there was no use for Barry really, and he held on to a few people. I was the first guy he took on in a long time, and then he also took on this megastar Kenny Omega, who signed with AEW, this new promotion. Billionaire Tony Khan invested in and started up with Dusty Rhodes' son, Cody Rhodes, and these other tag team, the Young Bucks. And it's really exciting to see because there's going to be competition for the WWE. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's another company, Impact and Ring of Honor and New Japan. Right. So the lifeblood to put on a wrestling show now is simmered. And you could do it. So my thing is, if me and Big Cass are the #1 merchandise sellers in our rookie year in the WWE, we both end up parting ways with the company, and we end up getting back together.
Big opportunity.
Big opportunity to do something that's never been done before, and that's book your own show.
Very true.
And cut the middleman out. And I got I spent a long time making the connections to do a lot of things over the past year and a half, and music more importantly than wrestling, because I had no desire to get back into wrestling. It wasn't until I saw my tag team partner who had a real life falling out with Big Cass and I. When me and him broke up on TV, we broke up in real life. And it's well publicized that we didn't like each other. For 2 years we didn't talk, but I got fired when he was hurt. And when he came back, he got fired, and he had a health scare and he had a seizure on a show where he nearly died. Dude, 7 foot tall, you hit the ground, hit your head. And he got out of shape, and it was a shell of himself. And I was like, God damn, bro, when I saw that, the human inside of you, he reached out to me like a week or two before that, and we talked. It was the first time we talked in 2 years. Then he had a seizure. And that was when I got in the car and I drove to the hospital to see him. And after that, the plan that I had presumed at Survivor Series took shape in Madison Square Garden when we came back for the first time together. And that's what it was all about for me. I had no desire to get back into wrestling. I really didn't. Unless it was the right situation.
Right.
And the perfect situation is exactly that. Madison Square Garden, the first time ever. Controversial shit. Me and Big Cass showing up. We haven't been seen with each other for 2 years.
Right.
That's a huge opportunity. Now, what do you do with that?
Exactly.
So we've shot TV pilots before we even did this shit. We shot stuff for, a lot of different interviews, a lot of different outlets. Me really pushing my music. Cass really pushing wrestling. Cass still wants to get on the road and wrestle a lot. I don't have it in me. I just don't.
Right.
Dude, it beats you up, man. And I give all the credit to the world. They're some of the toughest guys in the world, man. But to me, it's just not worth it. I've been knocked out cold on pay-per-view and broken my leg in the ring. If those two things happen to you and your mother's sitting at home crying, can't be told if you're alive, you wake up in an MRI in a hospital, no one in the world knows if you're all right, you could hear a pin drop in that arena. Dude, that's when I put myself in the studio. Right. It was that very week. It's like, you got to do something. So this is Big Rich from Apple.
What's up, man? Go. How you doing? Nice to meet you, man.
Great to meet you.
How you doing?
You guys ready to wrap up, go get chicken farms?
This guy wants a chicken parm.
He wants a chicken parm.
I'm going to the Rainbow Room.
I got to piss so fucking bad right now. I've been holding it in for an hour and a half.
Let's end it. We can talk all day. I told you I'm the Michael Jordan of jargon.
No, you're good. You're good. You're a good talker. Yeah. You go to the Rainbow Room for the chicken parm. That's the plan.
So listen, when I got me too. You know what I mean? It was only because I was having a lot of sex. All right. I was living that life.
Yeah.
All right, rock star. If you weren't getting laid, every night and fornicating off the fact that you had this title around your waist.
Right.
If you didn't have the title around your waist and you didn't leave it on when you were smashing chicks, then like me and you are not the same champion. I'm sorry.
Right.
We're not the same champion. I'm a champion of the women, the people, and I was having a great time meeting women in life. But like I said, going into the bar is different for Enzo Amore than it is for another wrestler.
Very true.
Bars, I go into a bar, drinks get served to me, food gets brought out to me, and I meet women, and it's love. And I reciprocate that energy because I'm open. There's a lot of wrestlers that walk around with their fucking chest out that don't give that all. They maintain the credibility of the business and being a tough guy, and they don't want to talk to everybody. But with me, dude, anybody can talk to me.
Yeah.
You come up to me on the street, dude, I hit a foot shuffle for you, show you how fast my feet are, take a picture with you. You tag me in it. It helps me market myself, and you're helping me grow my brand, and I appreciate it. So I appreciate all my fans.
Hell yeah.
It's like, it's the difference between understanding who Eric is, I'm Eric, and Enzo, the Amore, the wrestler, and then Enzo, the rapper. It's, you know, it's like everybo's got, you know.
Duality of man.
Duality of man. That's duality of life. Healing babyface, bro. What do you got?
I seriously
I
gotta
like
go
to
take this
relate.
piss. I appreciate you, man. I'm seriously dying right now. And so I appreciate you coming on, dude. I know everybody's gonna be blaming me for drinking out the gallon too.
Hey,
That's kind of
shout
that's
out.
part of my brand.
All right, so Virgil out now.
Right.
We just dropped an exclusive with Smoke Dizza remix.
Wow, he's supposed to come on sometime soon too.
Is he?
Yeah.
You need to get Smokey in here. He's the real life Smokey. Like if you see the movie Friday,
I got
he's
weed
the-
off him in New York one time.
Exactly. He's
Yeah.
the New York version of that.
Yeah.
He's like the rapper's plug.
Yeah.
So that's my plug. You know what I mean?
I'm not even gonna say what I've
Hit
seen,
my
but
plug,
he's
hit
a
my
serious
plug.
he's a serious businessman. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming on. Let's do this again sometime soon.
Fuck yeah, I would love to. With
Hell
Big
yeah.
Kaz, baby. Kaz XL, free agency.
Or Jake Paul.
Jake Paul and Logan Paul.
You pieces of shit.
Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Soft as ice cream, sweet as a cinnamon. Both of you guys, a couple fucking herbs with insecurities.
Yeah.
Okay? Come get your ass fucked up. If you come to Jersey, remember to pay the toll. You come to New York, do the same.
Greg Paul too. Their dad. You might want to
Come
fight
on,
him.
Greg.
He's probably closer to your age bracket
Greg
too.
Paul.
They're little boys.
How old are they?
They're like, I think Jake Paul's like 21.
Jay Paul.
Jake. I think he's young. 21, 22, something
I
like
know
that.
a wrestler named Jake. That guy's a fucking hard man.
Jake the
That
Snake?
guy Jake is just a fucking child.
Jake the Snake, or you got a different
I'm
Jake?
just waiting for these kids' balls to drop, and then maybe
Right.
they could come have a fucking match with a couple men.
Yeah.
Smack them the fuck around.
They'll get balls one of these days, yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to see them hit the ropes. I want to see them jump off the top rope. I want to see them fucking, let me see what you got.
Let's see what you got. All right, No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. I got to urinate so bad. I'm telling you, people.
Yeah,
this
you're the
whole
man.
thing. I could go fill
He's
this
got
right
a pee
now.
boner right
I
now.
gotta feed it. I can fill it. All right. Hey, Enzo, appreciate you. No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. Bang.